Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have some Project Blue gameplay on Kayo. And our opponent is on Iyslander. Now for arcane heavy decks, it's pretty simple. I'll just swap in all of the arcane barrier, toss in the arcane polarities, and I can probably cut a... I think I can cut one Pack Hunt and then one Freewheeling Renegades. Opening hand is pretty decent. We can obviously all discard the Mighty Windup to get a Might. Savage Feast with Beaten Trackers is pretty good. Wild Ride's present as well, and then of course 2 blues for any arcane damage. Just sending Ice Eternal our way for 3 arcane. Probably should have discarded the Mighty Windup first, but that's perfectly okay. I can just pitch Riled Up here. And then on the following turn, I can follow that up with a Savage Feast. Ooh, and it's not great. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the best option here is to send out the Savage Feast for 6 damage, not destroy Beaten Trackers here, and just arsenal the card I draw. Polar Blast coming in here is perfectly fine. It's not dealing any arcane damage, and our opponent just effectively gets to draw a card, which they pitch for anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to pay for the Dominate. Iyslander in Project Blue is a bit weird because she loses access to she loses access to both Kraken's Aethervein and Waning Moon because that card is banned, so instead she's forced to play out Crucible of Aetherweave. We don't have Go Again here anyway, so the Frostbite is basically irrelevant. We don't have to worry about Frost Hex or anything like that either. So this is perfectly fine. And Bare Fangs is a great card to arsenal, especially with the Might that we have. I'll go ahead and arsenal the Bare Fangs, and this hand is looking pretty good, actually. If our opponent sends any arcane our way, I can definitely just go... Okay, looks like they probably will be sending some arcane. Or nope, never mind. Might pop start of turn. I think the best play here is to send the red Bare Fangs. If our opponent sends out an arcane damage spell, we go for the arcane polarity. And if not, we just hope that we don't whiff on... Yep, Aether Icewind coming through. It is fused. So I think I... Yeah, let's go and not pitch. Let's pay to avoid discarding, definitely, and then I can Arcane Polarity here. That brings us up to 21. We're just going to mill a card effectively. Beaten Tracker's triggers, but it's not relevant here because we only have one resource floating. And then Bearfangs comes in for 9. Yeah, opponent is pretty much forced to block this out. Opponent only blocking 6. Could have prevented 1 Arcane there, but it shouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things. This hand is... This hand's pretty good as well, actually. I can just... I think the best move here is... What is the best move here, actually? It might be just Bearfangs, just to see what they have, and then follow that up with something else. Yeah. Unless we draw the second Arcane Polarity, Bearfangs here will be coming in for 8. 7 off of itself, and then +1 from the Might. And then I can crack Beaten Trackers, or depending on whatever they have, I could just pitch the Agile Windup, or discard it. And then follow that up with a Claw for simple 3 more damage if I'm... Okay. Beaten Trackers triggers here. Yeah, so I will pop the Trackers here. Yep. Gain that action point. Next time I see create 2. Okay. That's coming from Arsenal. That will just make 1 Frostbite under our control. Yeah, not too big of a deal. Would have liked to keep the Predatory Assault in this scenario because it would have been coming in for Dominate. Okay. Opponent's trying that one more time. Blocking for 2, blocking for 5. Blocking for 6. They gain a life. Yeah, I think I'll just send the Assault and Battery out for 7. Opponent pretty much forced to take that damage, so they're down to 7 to our 21. And this hand is pretty good as well. I think the play here is to discard this Agile Windup at the end of their turn, so that we can go Bearfangs into Claw, or Bearfangs into hopefully a second. Bearfangs into Claw seems ideal here. Bearfangs coming in for 8 again. And then Claw for another 3. That's 11 damage to their 7 life. Cracking Spellfire Cloak here for the Aether Hail. Yeah, I can just... I don't get to see the draw, unfortunately, and it's only 2 arcane damage here, so I'm inclined to just take it. Actually, hang on. No, 2, 3... Yeah, this is rough because paying the 1 here doesn't really do anything. I could pay 2 here, but then I won't be able to attack with Claw. No, I'll just take the 2. Okay, we do draw into another blue, which is perfect, because now we can attack with Claw. Probably could have prevented the 1 there, but eh. Most notably, our opponent does get to block out Claw here with just their equipment, using all of the Blade Beckoner stuff that they have, but this means they can't do it on a future turn, so we want to get rid of that now before they have more chances to. Yep. Opponent, once again, is probably just going to Arsenal pass. Hand is looking great once again. We can send out the Pulping, followed by the Bare Fangs, or Pulping, Claw into something else. We know, yep, there's the Ice Eternal. We know they're not going to be on any D-Reacts, I was going to say, but... pitching 6, 9? No, a decent amount here. Cost of 8, so they're dealing 4 arcane damage and creating 4 frostbites under our control. This is going to require some math. So, Claw would cost 6. Under that, Bare Fang's obviously not playable. 1, 3. That's 4, that's 5. Yeah, so because of the 4 frostbites, it doesn't look like we'll be able to play anything out, so I'm just going to pitch everything into Arcane Barrier here. Saving the Bare Fangs for when we hit our pitch stack. Looks like we milled a Blue Assault and Battery. Kayo triggers here, making a Might. This is coming in for 6. Our opponent is going to take it, I assume. Yeah. They have sent us the good game in already. Any sort of other dominate effect that we have will pretty much seal the deal. And we should have... yeah, this is the only Pulping I've played so far, so we should have everything else available. And we drew into a blue one, so we're good to go. The only possibility here is if we end up discarding the Arcane Polarity, but I'll just play it out before the trigger just to guarantee it. I'll go and play it out right now. Yeah, they're not going to be able to deal with the damage we are presenting at them. Obviously, they won't be able to deal with the Dominate, and so this should seal the game for us. Okay, the 1. Arcane Polarity brings me up to 19. KO triggers and we draw the 3rd Pulping. Opponent blocking for 3 with Battlefront Bastion. And that is going to be the game. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching.